Have you just been elected as your PTA or PTO's president and you're kind of freaking out, maybe wondering what the heck you have gotten yourself into and where to start? Then this video is totally for you, and I am so glad that you have found me. If we haven't met before, I'm Christina Heideck. I'm the founder of PTO Answers. I am a verified PTO nerd. I've been helping out in my children's schools as a PTO leader for the past 13 years. I remember when I first started as president, the very first time. I've been president, like 4 or 5 times now? Four? Because I've been president at every one of my children's school, plus our council, PTO. I've had a lot of experience, made a lot of mistakes, and learned how to do things along the way to make my life easier. And so I'm excited to share some of these tips with you today. So if you are a new president, and this is whether you've been president before or this is your first time, it's all the same process. You want to check in with your fellow elected leaders. So check in with your other officers and see where they're at. See if especially if they're new, then they're going to need some resources and training. If they are experienced, maybe they're in a new to them role. So same thing. If they have already served in that role, you still want to check in with them to make sure that everything's good and see where you can support them. By supporting them, this does not mean giving them all the answers, right? Because no one person has all the right answers. And quite honestly, there are a lot of different ways to do things in the PTO world. So don't think that you are missing out on a big secret. Generally, there are some tried and true principles that will help you along the way if you know about them. So also make sure to check in with your committee chairs. Kind of the same thing. Figure out where they're starting from, if they're experienced, if they need some help. If you have a newbie person, you're really going to have to give them a lot of support. So you're going to want to make sure to hook them up with the outgoing officer or committee chair, handle the transition of the materials. Hopefully there is a binder for every position and person so that they have some physical materials in their hand. You're going to want to invite them to your group's Google Drive. If you do not have a Google Drive where you're keeping like a digital repository, start one of those babies like right now, because that is so helpful. If you give everybody access and ask that they put anything PTO related into their file on the shared Google Drive, that way it just makes transition so much easier because you can just invite the new officers and committee chairs and point them in the direction of their respective folder. I have a whole nother video and a blog post about how to organize your PTO, including how to set up the Google Drive, because you can't just throw everything into one big bucket. Like you need to create folders and have a structure so that it's organized and stays organized from year to year. So I will link to that post in the description below. The next thing you're going to want to do is set up a summer planning meeting. Now, this is key, I tell you. And I know most people want to take off summer. They don't want to think about PTO, but I will tell you, having some advanced planning and getting some ideas hashed out can help you avoid trouble come fall and also really set you up for success because you'll know exactly what you're going to be doing. Poll your officers and committee chairs about the best time to meet. I like to use a free service called Doodle. I will drop a link in the description to that site as well. It's super easy and really just helps make scheduling meetings so much easier. There's no emailing back and forth. Everybody can just indicate what days and times are available. And then the system highlights the times that work for the most amount of people. So you don't even have to manually figure that out. It is truly fabulous. Before the end of the school year or before the principals leave on break, because most principals get off like a month or so during the summer, you're going to want to schedule to meet with the principal just to start establishing that relationship, building that trust. The time that you take now to invest in developing the relationship is really going to serve you long term throughout the upcoming school year, because when you trust somebody, it just makes things so much easier, and that it's a good place to start. It's also good to get on the same page as far as what activities they would like to see or what expectations they have. I have a whole nother blog post about how to partner with your principal. So again, I will drop a link to that resource in the description below too. Before the summer planning meeting, you're going to want to do some pre-work. So you're going to want to look at the calendar of events for your PTO and see kind of like what you want to do. Maybe you have some ideas for programs and events. Coordinate with your membership chair or your family events chair, and especially your fundraising chair, so that you guys are not kind of stepping on each other's toes by planning events at the same time. Now, sometimes it can make sense to do like a fundraiser paired with a family fun event, but most times you'll want to avoid the conflict entirely because it can be too much for your PTO volunteers to handle, as well as for parents to get their heads around and be able to participate in everything. Another opportunity to get yourself some support and help and ideas for how to be a PTO president, as well as the specifics of how to PTO for your specific school community, is by connecting with other PTO leaders in your school district. So maybe you're in the lower elementary school, you should connect with the junior high or middle school PTO president and see kind of if they have advice for you, if they have ideas, what's worked for them. Perhaps they were at one time the PTO president themselves at the elementary school. And so you can kind of pick their brains to see how what you have in mind lines up with their experience. They might be able to point you in the direction of some things that work like gangbusters and help you avoid things that didn't work so well. So it's just another opportunity also to collaborate, because sometimes you can plan events that are good for both schools. It's no more work to plan an event for 500 kids than it is for 200 kids. Like, you just have to do more of everything and have more space. But beyond that, you're going to be creating this just one flyer to promote it. And you're still going to have to do social media posts, but they can go out to 2 school communities. It just makes life easier. So see where you can cross program and kind of work together on everything. Also, before school lets out, make sure that you are actively recruiting to fill the open positions that your group might have, as far as board members as well as committee chairs. So if you get people in place early, then they will have the opportunity to work throughout the summer, come to the summer planning meeting, and start the new school year on the ground, running, ready to go, rather than waiting till the new school year to recruit people. So recruit them early and get them set up and going. The next thing all new PTO presidents need to have, again, whether or not they are a newbie or this is the 3rd time that they've been president, is you need to get organized. So you need to take the binder that you got from the previous president, go through it, get it all organized, figure out what gaps are present. A lot of times people are wonderful people, but sometimes they really stink at capturing information and writing it down. A great resource for getting organized super quickly is actually the President Success Kit. Now, this is a 4-product kind of resource bundle. There is the President's Planner, which is kind of the star of the bundle. It has over 100 pages to help you set up an organized binder so that you have everything right at your fingertips. Like, there is literally a section for everything you need. So it is so nice to have so that you're not wasting time searching for like a copy of the bylaws. Like, there's a section in the planner where you will put your bylaws, so you'll have them right there. It just makes life so much easier. The other 3 resources in the kit are the PTO Insider Secrets, the President's Edition, that kind of, I just like downloaded all of the things that I would have wanted to know as a president, and kind of put them into a guide so that you can kind of get like an information dump and have it all in one place. And it's just a great way to slash the learning curve and have that confidence that you're going to be able to be a successful PTO president. The other 2 resources are actually materials designed for your principal and the teacher's liaison. It'll help them get organized and also make them feel part of the team, that they're wanted, because you're going to be giving them something to kind of help them with their role as it relates to the PTO. So you can find more details about this fabulous product. This is the very first resource that I created. It's been refined over the last, 7 or so years. And so it is really fantastic. Hundreds of PTO presidents are using the kit to kind of cut down on frustrations, increase their enjoyment of the process. And it also makes it easier to get new presidents in because you can promise and actually have it ready to deliver resources to help new presidents get up to speed quickly. One last resource that I would recommend for all PTAs and PTOs is actually the PTO Success Kit. This is a mega bundle of everything that your group will need to successfully run. There's a resource for every single officer and committee chair in the bundle. There are too many to go through right now, but there are over 29 different resources. And one of the most popular features of the bundle is actually the Treasurer's Finance Manager, because this one program replaces really expensive software to manage your group's money so that you can go from paying $100 or $200 or $300 a year for your financial management software to paying nothing, because the finance manager is a one-time purchase and you are good to go forever. And so it really can help your group easily manage your money down to the exact penny without having to do any math. I hope you will give those resources a look and get them if they are right for your PTO. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave me a comment below and I will respond to you, or you can reach out to me via email. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video and you feel more prepared and confident as a new PTO president, and I hope you will join me for the next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Want even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All these resources and more are waiting for you at PTOanswers.com.